like, auntie, can I get one?
Oh, oh
And when we
wow.
handed over this part to this girl, her name is Rahab. There's this light bulbs. You could
Oh.
see this excitement, like a sigh of relief.
Hmm.
And the other girls were like, "Oh, auntie, can I have some? Can I have some?" Like they were
Because
just
now one has
like that's
spoken, you
their
give
yes.
them
And funny enough,
the
they were not even
courage.
concerned about any other thing we brought for them. They just wanted sanitary pads. What have you guys been using? Of course, it's
Yeah.
obvious you want to ask that question. And it was shocking for us to realize that these girls rely on improvised solution, rags, not just, there are rags and there are rags. There are rags that it's it's not even worthy. You can't even look at it. That's what some of them were using. Some of them were using newspapers. Imagine you using newspaper as
Oh my God.
yes, just to like use
Yeah.
as a menstrual alternative to menstrual products.
Yeah. Hi guys, welcome back to another exciting episode of The Cruise with Esther. So today we actually have a very, very special guest, a boss lady who is moving mountains. Tabitha Abimiku is a social entrepreneur and menstrual health advocate. She is the CEO and founder of Virtuous Pads, a company that actually produces low-cost, sustainable, eco-friendly menstrual products to actually end period poverty and reduce menstrual waste while actually raising awareness about menstrual health through education. This lady here is also the founder of the Girls Dignity Foundation. This foundation is actually set up to keep girls in school and promote menstrual health. She has been so amazing. If you see her work, in fact, you wouldn't believe what she has done and how she has grown this business. Us, she's going to tell us her journey, how she was able to, start the menstrual health, how she was able to be a menstrual health advocate, what inspired her, and so much more. So stay tuned. Make sure that you don't leave this video, be here, and I'm sure you would enjoy and learn from her story. So I'm going to be turning over to our dear sister Tabitha Abimiku. So can you please introduce yourself?
Okay, so thank you so much, Esther, for having me. This is such a long time coming, but I'm glad we are doing this
Yeah.
today. So,
Yeah.
thank you for the introduction. Thank you for the accolade. So, my name is Tabitha Abimiku. I am the founder and the executive director of Virtuous Reusable Sanitary Pads. And I'm also the team lead for Girls Dignity Foundation. That's where we do our impact projects. That's like the NGO, the nonprofit aspect of our business. So Virtuous Pad is a social business. We are into local manufacturing of washable and reusable sanitary pads. And our focus is mainly on those with little or no access to affordable menstrual hygiene products. So, and aside from virtuous pads, I really have interest in ensuring that women understand the menstrual cycle as a whole, and that women are able to learn to walk in sync with their menstrual cycle. Because I've seen over the years that a lot of women don't really know what goes on into their body, what happens in the body every month. So, but from the past 3 years, I've discovered that the period is much more than just bleeding, but it can serve as a blueprint for women to operate their life from. And when we are able to learn to operate our lives from the blueprint that we have been designed to operate from, then you would experience ease, you experience flow, and you experience clarity. So,
Oh wow.
Those are the things that I'm passionate about. But today we are not here to talk about that. We are focusing on virtuous paths. So you want me to talk about my story, my journey? So
Yeah.
growing up, I've always had this interest, helping the less privileged. Like from where I'm coming from, I was not born with a silver spoon. So I understood when you say poverty, like I know the
Yeah.
color, I know poverty. So um, I took interest in helping the less privileged. And when I grew older, I found myself actually drawn towards the girl child. But I really, really didn't believe that I was going to do a business because all these years I've been working in the development space. I've worked as a program officer managing several development projects from my university days, right from to when I served in an non-governmental organization. So my life has been built
Oh.
around development work. But I never thought that one day I would be doing business. So it happened in 2017. So normally during the first Boko Haram attack, when these refugees came down to Abuja, so there's this first camp that was built. So we normally like arrange to just go and donate things to people. And so one of these days when we went visiting the IDP camp, one of the girls stood up and requested that, Auntie, please, do you have sanitary pads? So there's something about the North. I'm from the
Hmm.
North, and I know how we are so secretive. You know, you
Yeah.
can't,
Especially.
like, it's the culture that you can't really speak about, period. So having a girl
Exactly.
from the North, that's Meduguri, standing up in
Hmm.
the midst of everybody and requesting for pads. My other colleagues
Wow.
wouldn't understand, but me, I'm from the north. I know what it takes for you don't even talk about periods in front of people or maybe meal.
Yeah.
So I was really surprised that she had this confidence to ask about sanitary pads. Unfortunately, we didn't have any. Then we didn't even
Okay.
start, we were not even donating pads to them. So we promised her that we're going to get her the pad the next day, which we did. So when we got her these pads, we discovered that other girls were surrounded. They just came and were like, Auntie, Auntie, can I get one?
Oh. Oh
And when we
wow.
handed over this pad to this girl, her name is Rahab. There's this light bulbs. You could
Oh.
see this excitement, like a sigh of relief.
Hmm.
And the other girls were like, "Oh, auntie, can I have some? Can I have some?" Like they were
Because
just
now one has
like
spoken
that's
and
their
gave
yes.
them
And funny enough,
the
they were not even
courage.
concerned about any other thing we brought for them. They just wanted sanitary pads.
Hmm.
And I told my because I worked in the development space, so I understand community engagement. I understand girl child programming. If you want to find out maybe a problem in a community, there are ways that you can engage them, maybe through pilot studies, community mapping, and a lot of other these strategies. So I felt, it seems there's a problem about sanitary pads in this
Yeah.
community in this IDP camp because how on earth would the whole girls like they are clamoring for
Yeah.
pads? They are not even concerned about any other thing we brought for them. And at
And I
that
think
time,
it's also very
that
rare.
was
Oh, sorry.
don't forget that was disposable pads. Yes, that
Hmm.
was disposable pads we handed over to them. So we tried to engage them, ask questions, and it was shocking to realize that only 1 in 10 of these girls were actually having access to sanitary pads within the camp. Just
Oh.
1 in 10. So it's as good as saying none of them were
None.
having
Yeah.
access to clean, and safe products. So we felt okay, maybe the next visit we would be doing, we would try and include, sanitary pads into the packages we're going to be sharing to them. So we
But prior
started.
to that, did you ask them like what were they using? Since just 1 in 10 have access to the sanitary pad, how were
Yes.
they? Okay.
Yeah, so we were curious. Okay, if only 1 in 10 can afford pads, so what have you guys been using? Of course, it's
Yeah.
obvious you want to ask that question. And it was shocking for us to realize that these girls rely on improvised solution, rags, not just, there are rags and there are rags. There are rags that it's it's not even worthy. You can't even look at it. That's what some of them were using. Some of them were using newspapers. Imagine you using newspaper as
Oh my God.
yes, just to like use
Yeah.
as a menstrual alternative to menstrual product.
Yeah.
Some, if they had, they have maybe money, they buy tissue, and you can imagine, what
Yeah.
tissue can
Tissue.
do when you have to stay for like 8 hours or maybe from morning to night. And apart from that, we've seen that they have recurrent infection, like issue of itching. In short, we had to start looking for how to reduce the itch, the burning sensation most of the girls had. So aside from the issue of sanitary pads, we had to start not treating, but like giving them at least some relief, something that can relieve them of the itching. Because of course, if you're using newspapers, maybe imagine newspaper that suya was used. Maybe someone used to eat suya, and then
Mm.
a girl is
And
using
it's
it
even
again
hard.
as
Yeah.
yes. So you can imagine. And then there's one girl that even said that sometimes when she spread the rag, her dad or her brother wouldn't know that it's for her period. They will carry it and clean their shoe. And of course, she cannot tell them no. So, like the same rag she's using to for her period,
Yeah.
her dad and her brother would use the same rag to clean their shoe when they are going out. So that's just
Oh.
like the reality that these girls are facing. So the shocking part of it is that sometimes you hear about statistics. Okay, statistics says that we have 800 million girls that are menstruating every day. We have 65 girls in Africa not having access to affordable menstrual period products. But that day, these numbers and statistics became real to me. That behind these numbers,
As you
a lot of
speak.
time you might be confusing these numbers are just they're just numbers. But that day, the reality dawned on me that behind these numbers and statistics are the faces of real girls. A lot of times the statistics we forget that they are human beings that are being counted as statistics. So when I
Right.
saw these girls live, the reality of the numbers that we hear on internet, you read about
Mm-hmm.
65% of girls in Africa don't have access. It became real. Like I'm watching girls who are going through this, not just reading it. So
Mm-hmm.
every month we started, bringing parts to them. But unfortunately, remember, it wasn't an organization. We were just doing our goodwill as friends. So the amount
Yeah,
that
because
we
I was going
wouldn't
to
have
ask,
money,
was it through a company or it's just like a group of, you maybe
just a
you
group
and
of
friends?
friends that
Oh
come
wow.
together to, just take our donations. So there are months that we are not able to, get funds. So there are months where we skip, we don't bring these parts to them. I remember there was a time like
Oh.
3 months we didn't have any funding, so we didn't supply any parts to them. And then when we came the fourth month, I remember the girls were looking, they were not welcoming as they normally would
Oh.
be. So we're like,
Mm.
why are you guys not excited? So one of them said, why did you guys suddenly give us hope that you guys will be supplying pads? We had to throw our rags, and all of a sudden, for 3 months, you guys were not forthcoming. As a matter of fact,
Oh
they will tell
no.
you instead of giving them food, give them access to pads. That day, I felt
Just to
so
show
bad.
how. Oh no.
Yes, I felt so bad, and that was the beginning of building Virtuous Pads. When I went back home that day, I think it took me from that evening till the next day. I was just thinking, how would I be able to help these girls? I also have my own share of this, my personal story. When I couldn't have access to pads, but today is not for me. It's for this the story around Virtuous Pads as a brand. Maybe one day I will share my own story. So I knew
Yeah.
when a girl is so devastated, like why do you just raise our hopes and all of a sudden you guys are nowhere to be found?
Mm.
So I
Yeah.
was just thinking through, and then I think after a week I was browsing and I saw, I think I was on Amazon, and then something popped up. like reusable, something reusable. So I just clicked on that link. And I was, sometimes it said the universe like conspired to bring
Yeah.
whatever your thought is to reality. So I think that was what
Exactly. Yeah.
happened. Like what I was just thinking about how would I have access to help these girls. I don't have all the money. I can't always go knocking on people's door. We must find a sustainable way to ensure that these girls are taken care of.
Yeah.
So that was how I began searching and
Oh,
searching, and then
that's
I
great.
stumbled. I didn't even type reusable pad on the internet. Somehow, God just brought it. And then I clicked on the link. I saw reusable pads. So I was curious. I clicked on it. Of course, it's not a new, reusable pads are not new. People are already using it in developed countries. So when I saw it, I
Yeah,
quickly
I didn't
called
even know
my.
about it.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people don't know, but it's something that people use in developed countries a lot. And even our mothers, that's what they were using, during their own time. So I called one of my sisters and like, oh, I've seen this. Can we find a way of recreating it? So I sent her to go to Use Market. I said, okay, go and get.
Hmm.
Then I didn't even have the issue about the science behind the pads. I just wanted to create something that would be, like help the girls in the community. So I said, okay, go
Yeah.
to Use Market, go and get beautiful bed sheets, like with beautiful design. So when she got back, we took the normal pad, the normal disposable pad, and then put it on the yard and then traced it out. And then we used scissors to cut it.
Okay.
And then we just like used some of the part of the material again to put in the middle. And then it was amazing to see that we used actually needle and thread
Mm.
to do the first. I still
Wow.
have, if I remember, I would have come with the first sample of the pad. I still have it.
Yeah, to show. Oh.
Yes, to show you. So it was amazing, and it was kind of like emotional to see that we
But
created
that was
something.
a
Though we didn't.
disposable pad that you added
Yes, we
the
just
material,
traced it.
right?
We just put it and
Oh,
then traced it
okay.
out, cut out the cloth, and then
Oh,
use needle and thread to sew it. And when we tried putting it on the pan, it made sense. Of course, but there are other signs in terms of absorption, comfortability.
yeah.
Those things we were not concerned about. We wanted to just have and see if we can create something that can help the girls in the community. I remember we did the first 10, and when we took it to them, we knew it was not the perfect form of what we wanted to do, but we just wanted to see their reaction. And at the point, they were like, what is this? But when they heard that they can have this with them, they don't have to throw it, they can have it stay with them. That was where the excitement came to them. They were
Okay,
excited
okay,
because,
okay.
okay, this will be with me. I don't have to wait for Auntie
Yeah.
Tabitha to bring pads for me every day or every month. I can have this with me. And trust me, they don't have issue with washing their blood because that is what they've been doing. They've been washing their rags. So it's
They are
not
used
like,
to
yes,
it.
it was
Yeah.
just a better alternative. So they were excited, and then we shared it to like 8 of the girls, and they used it, even though it wasn't absorbing very well. But there's this excitement, the fact that, oh, there's something that they can be
That's
using over and over again. So it was left for
yeah.
us to go back, and keep doing our research and ensure that we, bring out something that is going to give them a better experience and also comfortable and be very safe and healthy for them. And that was when I said, okay, let's see opportunities or two that will help us validate this idea. Remember, we didn't have any funding. And then sometimes you want to do something, but you're still having doubts. I was still doubting, will this thing work? So that was when Tony
Yeah.
Lumelo was open for application. That's in 2018. Yes, 2018.
Oh,
It was
okay.
open for, no, 2019. It was open for application. So I said, okay, I'm going to apply with this idea. If I got selected, that will be my validation. And then I can push
Mm.
this idea to the next level. So
Oh,
we
wow.
did the
That's a
application. I
very
remember we.
intentional effort you made.
Yes, yes. So I remember we submitted the application 1 minute to 12. 12 midnight, I think 1st March was the deadline. We submitted just 1 minute to deadline. That's 11:59. I
Oh
remember as I was
wow.
clicking
Really?
send, that was clicked 12 p.m. in the night, and that was when the application got closed.
See God.
And
Oh my God.
I was not even really bothered. I was just like, just doing what I was doing, trying to see
Mm-hmm.
if we can, make more available. So I didn't even know that I was shortlisted. There was a friend that called me. She applied, so she went on searching
Okay.
for her name. She didn't even see her name, and she was like, is this Tabitha? How? When? Because she didn't know I was doing it. Nobody knew I was doing anything like this. So she was like, could this be my name? So she just called and like, Tabitha, check, oh, did you apply for anything? I was like, okay, what's that? I forgot
You didn't even
that I
remember.
applied because I was not, I just said, if 11:59 people had submitted, months ago, I'm just submitting my own, but
Yeah.
then whatever will be. So she said I should check so and so number, so and so session. And when I checked, it was my name. I was like, oh wow.
Hmm.
I started screaming and screaming and screaming and screaming. And
God is
my joy
great.
was that I got validated. That was the validation I needed to move
Yeah.
forward. So one thing with Tony Numelo is like whatever solution you're bringing, it should have potential to transform Africa. You should be able to create a solution that is solving a real problem. You know,
Oh,
so
I see.
the problem of lack of sanitary products is real, right?
Yeah.
And then the solution we are bringing is also perfect in terms of the setting and the culture that we were operating from. So to me, that was the validation I needed. And then
Mm.
I went through the process of the program, and then after 6 months, we scale through because of course you have to pass the courses and everything to a certain level, come up with a
Oh.
business plan, and then we got this opportunity. I think the first money was 1.8 million as at
Oh
2019.
wow.
That was good money. So we're so
Yeah.
excited that we can take this to the next level, and then that was how we were able to buy our first set of machineries. Remember, we've been using needle and
You've
thread
been,
to sew.
yeah, thread and needle.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as at that time, we're able to we had a local machine that could just produce maybe like 10 a day.
Is it
Then
like
when
a
we got
sewing
the
machine you
funding,
bought, or there's a
sorry.
machine dedicated? Was it like a sewing machine, or there's a
Yeah, so that
machine
was what we started
dedicated?
with. We started with this local machine. So when we got the funding,
Okay.
we're able to buy like industrial, where you can be able to produce about 1,000. No, no, not up to a
Mm-hmm.
thousand, maybe like 500 a day. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I know we got all the energy to look for more opportunities. So I remember Haconomy, that's AGS Thrive 2019. There was another opportunity. So we applied, and then
Mm.
we came first again, got another
Oh my
1.5
God.
million.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, got another
Wow.
1.5 million. So that gave us all the boost. And then anytime we are opportune to talk about the business, people could see that this is a real problem. Do
Like,
you understand? Like women could, they can relate. If you
yeah.
are a woman, yes, you are seeing your
Yeah.
period. I don't know, you don't have a product. Sometimes you have a product and you're even like you're having heavy flow. How do you feel? Talk more of someone
Exactly.
that does not even have an alternative completely. So we had another opportunity. We got another 1.5 million. So we added more machineries, and then we got another opportunity and got $10,000. That's about 4 million.
Oh
Yes,
wow. How did
and
you
then,
get
yes.
that?
So that's like the journey. Sorry, it's quite long, but then I wanted to, to really like give a bit of detail of the journey
Yeah.
from where the whole interest started, to the ideation, to the iteration, to the, taking the bold step to validate if this solution has the capacity to
Yeah.
transform Africa. And then,
Wow.
from there, we kept getting more opportunities, and then got some investors at the time where we're able to move. I
Wow.
was working from home before, so we're able to move from working in the boys' quarters in my house to a factory. And then in
Oh.
2020, 2021. we got our NAFDAC certification, and right now
Wow.
we are working from a standardized factory where we have our
Wow.
designated rooms for even quality control. So, and today we can produce like 5,000 pieces in a day.
Hmm. Oh,
Yes, so
wow.
you can
Great.
imagine for producing like barely one, five, we move from 5 to 10 to 500
Mm-hmm.
to 1,000
To
and now
1,000.
5,000 per
Five
day. So you could
thousand a
see that
day. Wow.
it's not like a, it's not, it's a journey, right? It's not something
Yeah.
that we just woke up and then it just happened. It's a journey
Yeah.
of consistency, journey of
Mm.
discipline, journey of
Yeah.
building from
Mm-hmm.
2017 till today. We could see the growth, from one step, baby step to another, baby step to another, that
Yeah.
today people can even reach out to us. Oh, I want to do this, please, can you help us, can you guide us, and getting the NAVDAC number wasn't a walk in the park. It was quite
Mm.
challenging because
Yeah. I
the
heard
pads
that's kind
are
of very.
categorized under medical devices. Medical devices, that's where the pads are categorized. So obviously, the way someone that is into Zobo production, it will be
Mm-hmm. It's
easier for
different.
someone into Zobo production or into fashion to get approved than someone producing medical device. So we
Yeah.
went through several laboratory tests to validate every claim, and today
Mm.
we are very excited to be
Guys get
be solving the issue
approved.
of period poverty. And
Yeah.
today we can boast that a lot of girls, because of these pads, they are able to, stay in school. They don't have to, miss out 3 to 5 days out of school because they don't have
Yeah.
access to pads. And so far, I think we have distributed more than 500 pieces of pads, if not more. Yeah, and we've been excited. We've worked with so many, brands. We've worked for
Oh.
UNICEF. We've worked
Mm,
for
wow.
IRC, International Rescue Committee. We've worked for Canadian NGO. We've worked for a lot of other organizations. So you can imagine how a simple product as a reusable pad, how it's impacting the lives of girls.
Yeah.
So we are not looking at pads, giving just a pad, but we're giving hope to girls. We're keeping
Mm-hmm.
girls in school, and then we
Yeah.
are creating impact, long lasting impact. And aside from that, we are also helping with the waste. We all know
Mm.
that we are talking about issue of climate change, and our pads are also eco friendly, where we are reducing the waste that should be in the environment, because our pads can be used for more than
Be
a year too, so
reused.
they are sustainable. And
Oh,
also
wow.
giving a pack of virtuous pads to a girl means you're going to keep her in school for a whole year. She wouldn't have to be thinking of pads. She wouldn't have it to be thinking of going to, we've even had news of some girls going to sleep with boys just because they want to get money to buy pads.
Oh, to buy
So
pads.
it's
Wow.
it's really, people might not really understand. Sometimes people say, why are you so making noise about periods? Our parents weren't making this noise. I said, when you face reality, when you see that these numbers are not just numbers, but they are real faces
They're
of
real.
girls,
Yeah.
then you understand. When you see me passionate about what I'm doing. And today my son was asking, my kids were asking me that, mommy, where's your happy place? Like, where's this place where you just be and you don't want to leave? So my daughter said she just wants to be, where friends are, she's having fun, enjoying herself. And then my son said, my 5-year-old said, mommy, I think yours is to walk. You just love to walk. Your happy place is to walk. It was so funny. And then I was like, that's like a big question. I was thinking through. And funny enough, it's only when I'm in virtuous pads that I forget about myself.
Like,
Like, I can be in that office from morning till midnight. Like, I don't
mm,
get tired.
that's show how passionate you are about
Yes,
it.
yes. So when you see that something as simple as reusable pad is transforming the lives of girls, you meet a
Yeah.
girl and she's like, "Oh, auntie, thank you, thank you." I can't remember the last time I get stained since I got virtuous
Oh,
pads. Those kind of testimonials, like it's something that can push you to want to, keep at, and you don't want to even sleep just because you know that there's somebody
Mm-hmm.
out there that is being
Yeah.
impacted because of something as reusable
Of
pad.
this.
Sorry for my long
Oh my
story.
God.
So,
No, it's a fact, it's an eye opener because there are a lot of us who are not aware of reusable pads. I know growing up to, when you are not exposed to things like this, you wouldn't really understand. Not like
yeah.
I wasn't even born with a silver spoon, but all these basic needs are things that were actually available. And then when you hear stories like this, you'll be like, oh my God, I really understand the fact that you said, this is something you saw. I did statistics. You see all these numbers, and then you think, oh, they are just making it up.
Yeah.
Sometimes these are actually real. And like you mentioned, you actually saw it firsthand. And that was what really pushed you to be like, okay, these are not just numbers. These are actually real humans that, this data was actually gotten from. And I really appreciate the fact that you took it upon yourself to really make a change. You can imagine being on your period and you don't even know. I'm a lady. I know how it is when you even get, if you get a little bit stained, it's crazy. What about those with heavy menstrual flow? Is it sufficient for them to, like the disposable pads, they have like different levels. So how does this work?
Okay, so we understand that every woman has a unique flow. No woman is the same.
Yeah.
There are those that have light flow, regular flow, and then the heavy, and we even have those that have heavy. So we know that, and then we also have them in different flows. So we have the medium,
Oh,
we
okay.
have the small, and we have the large. So the large takes care of those that have heavy flow. So everything for any woman, like whatever your flow is, we have you covered. So
Okay.
it's not just one size fit all. So you're having, so we even recommend that maybe if you're buying for the first time, you can maybe buy the three different, sets so that you can be able to decide which
Which?
one fits you, the most. So yeah. So and then the small can also be used as panty liners.
Okay.
Yes, and then for those like very young girls, maybe eight. Now we have girls that start period at 8 years, eight,
Yeah, I,
9.
I heard that. I was like, oh my
Yes,
God, I don't
yes,
know. The
yes,
body
yes, yes,
system is
yes.
just changing. Like during our time, it
Yes.
wasn't
So
like that.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think it contribute to what we also eat. I think before people are more with the natural. Now there are a lot of artificial,
Yeah.
you know, junks around. So
Mm.
I think that also contributes to the experience we are seeing right now. But yeah, we have people that start as early as 8. Yeah. So yeah, so every woman, no matter your flow, it can be designed to fit your flow. That's one interesting thing about our pads. Yes, we even have. There's someone that sent me a picture. I think she has endometriosis, so
Oh.
she bleeds like when she showed me the. She actually snapped the blood and sent to
Mm.
me via Instagram. She's tired. She has used, sometimes she has to like pile up pads, over and over just because, she's afraid. And there's no day that she doesn't get stained. So
Mm.
sometimes she just stays back at home. So aside from even those that don't have money to, buy pads, we have people that don't even have any type of disposable that can really, absorb blood for them. So
Yeah.
what we did was to even create, we had to redesign,
Mm.
made it so like wider wings,
Okay.
longer front
Yeah.
and back so that, and so far so good. She was really excited that for the first time she was able to go out and come back without getting stained. So
Oh
that's one
wow.
thing, exciting thing about the reusable. You can design it to fit you. So we have those that are center bleeders, those that
Mm.
bleed from the middle, and then it spreads like this. There are some that bleed from the middle and then it goes front and back. And then some people, when they sleep, they don't know how to coordinate their sleep. They
They
wake up and
just,
then
yeah.
one leg is there, one leg is there. Yeah. So we're able to design, make it longer so it can cover up,
Yeah.
so that it can fit you very well and you can, be able to sleep comfortable. So we have all these different sizes, and then the absorbency too is different because we know that the blood flow is not the same.
Yeah.
So we have different absorbency for each of the sizes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good you also get feedback from people who are actually using your product. So that way you can also work on, updating and doing some upgrades on your
Yes.
existing products.
Yeah, so we have this feedback form. So anybody that has used our pads, once you buy the pads and then you confirm to us that you have received your pads, we send you our feedback form, which is online. It's not like a physical form.
Oh,
Just send it to you, and then you send us your feedback as soon
oh
as
wow.
you've used the pad. So far so good. Of course, we have some of these feedbacks are even the ones that are helping us to make it better. Some people would say, okay, can you make it longer? Can you make it wider? So I think feedback, there's no business that should even try
Mm,
without having feedback. Feedback is not even just about, okay,
yeah.
wanting to hear all the good news. Sometimes these are people that
Mm-mm.
genuinely care about you, and when you listen to them,
Yeah.
you keep trying to adjust before you now come up with a very perfect product. But at the beginning, if you don't allow people to give feedback, of course you don't expect to even get a very good product. So feedback is very important, and we don't take that lightly. And timely, sometimes we just like throw up surveys and just ask people randomly, okay, what you're using right now, are you comfortable with it? And
Yeah.
then if you're giving alternative to disposable, would you be able to? Some girls will say, no, how will I wash my blood?
Yeah.
I can't do this, I can't. But we've seen people that, of course, the beginning is going to be somehow not comfortable, but once you start, I'm not sure you'll be able to go back to disposable. That's the truth. Because this reusable has a way of even connecting you to
To your
your own body,
body.
your own blood.
Mm,
When I say, people like, "Ah, what am I saying?" But I'm serious.
yeah.
There's this connection you have, when you, and funny enough, sometimes, I tell people that the period is also a feedback. Is also always your monthly report card.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. I
your period
totally
is your
agree.
monthly report card. So whatever you do, if you eat anyhow throughout the month, of course, at the end of the month, it will show you maybe through the pain,
Mm,
or through the color of the blood. But having contact with your blood, you can even have an idea if you know that your blood, the menstrual blood, is supposed to be reddish in color, and you're having something dark, or
mm,
you're having something or not the color that it should be. It's already giving you an insight that there's something
something wrong. Yeah.
going on in your body. So I tell
Yeah.
people that that's another thing that the reusable pad can do to you. Of course, right now, even the economy, a lot of women that normally you will never hear them talk about reusable, they are sending us DM, please, I want to buy, I want to buy, I
Yeah.
want to buy.
Yeah.
And just in December, I think we have about 20 new clients. That's new, not those that are in the community. I'm talking about women, like ladies, young ladies that have switched to our pads.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so
Wow.
and then we also have people that are eco-conscious, those that are
Mm.
pro, eco-conscious organizations that we're also looking at partnering with, so that maybe we'll be able to maybe have our products in their online stores.
Oh, wow. Great.
So as people are shopping for their eco-friendly products, they also have opportunity to, shop for our own
Yeah.
period products.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
So, you said it lasts for a year. Is it after you've started using it, that's how long it lasts? Or what's the shelf life? Like if you buy it and you don't open it, does it still last as long as it's supposed to, even though you haven't used it?
Yeah, so so the shelf life is 5 years, meaning
Okay.
after 5 years, that's when you cease to use it. Like that's what NAVDAC, like even from our approval, it's 5 years.
Okay.
So after 5 years, like you can't use it anymore.
Okay.
Do you understand? But of course, with proper care and management, you cannot handle it anyhow
Mm.
and expect it to, serve you well.
Yeah.
And then number one, we tell people don't, the thing is, the reason part is not like you have to change your behavior. Like it's not like you have to go to school to learn how to use it. It's just the way you wash your panties.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. There's no special, no special treatment that you have to do. Because some people like, okay, do they need to learn how to take care of the pads? No.
No. Yeah.
And the beauty of it is that, okay, someone would ask, how do I know that the pads are properly washed? As soon as you don't see the water reddish,
It's
you
clean.
know,
Yeah.
if you're washing your clothes, once you don't see the water, if the water is pure white, you know that
It's
whatever you're washing is clean.
yeah.
And you can also use it, you can wash it in the washing machine. If you don't want to use your hands, you can wash in your washing machine. It's still
Yeah, it's
okay.
still okay. Oh wow,
So,
that's great. I mean,
yeah,
I mean, it's so good
yeah.
that a lot of ladies, a lot of young girls too will have this awareness that reusable pads is actually very good because sometimes you'll be wondering, like you said, I don't, how will I touch my blood? How will I wash my blood?
Even as a woman, when you get stained,
You
at least
wash?
once a while, you would have stained
Oh
your
yeah,
cloth. Did
yeah.
you just remove the cloth and just throw it away?
No, you
No.
wash it.
So, and this blood is coming from your body. It's not from somebody else's body. So,
Yeah, that's true.
of course, I understand that the first time you struggle, but trust me, once you use it once, twice, you get used to it. You
Yeah,
won't even want to use any other thing.
yeah. That's
Maybe I should start. Maybe I should start sharing some of this testimonial from women like me that are
yeah,
using this part, so that
yeah,
people can really understand that it's not just for, Of course, we started because of girls who don't have access,
yeah.
but right now it's not just for girls who don't have access.
Yeah, it's
You
for
know,
every
yeah,
woman.
there's a lady, I remember she told me that anytime she uses disposable, she has the burning sensation.
Hmm.
She has itching, rashes. I still have
Oh,
her feedback after she bought the pads. She told us that anytime she uses reusable now, she doesn't
yeah.
have those issues again.
Oh, really?
Yes. So
Wow.
because the pads are made from cloth and the cotton is the one that has contact with your body and is also breathable, meaning there's a room for aeration, so air can go through it, so you don't feel this damp like
Yeah.
wet. You don't feel wetness.
Hmm.
I tell people, I said, it's not funny enough, it's not the material we use to produce the pads are not just any kind of maybe Ankara. No.
Hmm.
These are carefully selected material that we felt it must be soft, comfortable. It must be something that shouldn't be wetty. At
Yeah.
least it should give you this dry, not you shouldn't be feeling too wet.
Yeah.
You know
True.
so they are materials that are carefully selected. So, and then because we also understand that if the materials are not also breathable, it means it can allow bacteria or microorganisms to
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 stay.
thrive. So that's why we ensure that the materials are carefully selected. And then someone might ask, okay, won't it leak?
Hmm.
No, it won't leak because the material we use they are waterproof, they are leak proof. So with
Oh,
our pads, say bye bye to stain. You won't
wow.
stain because it is well protected, and then it's very comfortable and soft. So you
Wow.
won't feel this dampness when you wear it.
Hmm.
Yes.
This
And then
this
it
is
doesn't
actually very
smell
impressive.
because most of the time is the what do you call it now, the chemical in the disposable that react to the blood and brings out this pungent kind of smell. But
Oh,
because our pads, there's no chemical in the pads. In short, if you open up the pads, you literally see everything that is made, you know that the pad is made of.
Made of.
But I
Okay.
tell people, pick your disposable pads and check if you know what the combination is. What do they really use to make the pads?
Mm.
I think women, we should begin to be very careful. I mean, we should be very
Like conscious.
interested in
Okay.
whatever we put in our body.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this because she's doing reusable, that's why she's saying it. But regardless, we need to be very conscious of whatever it is we put in our body.
Currently, where can we find like, the virtuous reusable pads?
Okay, so right now we have like distributors, or would I say stockists, in about 20 different states across the 36 states in Nigeria. Um,
Okay.
like we have their addresses. So on our social media, Instagram, we're on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. So once you click on our bio, it will give you access to several places that we have distributors. Like we have in Kano, we have in Lagos, we have in Ogun State, we have in Para, we have in
Mm.
Jos, we have in Tarawa. Um, so this year, hopefully, we should have them in some of the stores. So watch out,
Okay.
very soon. We should have them in some of the stores, so anybody that needs it can just pick it. But we felt like getting it through the stock is also to us was going to be better because it brings it closer to the people. Yes,
Yeah.
so far, so that's where you can get it. You can also buy it online through our link on our bio. You can click on it and make your purchase, and it can be delivered to you anywhere. Yeah. So basically,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. One-sided conversations are not very effective, right? Um, when you're talking
Mm.
about having
Yeah.
conversation and dialogue, it's a two-way thing. And when it comes to change making, I believe you have to involve all the parties that are in either a community or an environment. And of course, since men are part of the population and they are people that also interact
Yeah.
with women every day, and if we are trying to create the change that we're looking for, ensuring that girls have all that they need to thrive and attain their fullest potential, then men must be part of the conversation. And so
Yeah.
because you can be a daddy, you can be a brother, you can be a community leader, a head teacher, and then you see girls maybe having such experience. If you are not aware, you might body shame them, or you might say something that would
Mm.
you know be very negative to them. So but then when we involve them in this conversation, even our policy makers, we have men that are involved in policy, they are policy makers. So
Yeah.
imagine if men are not aware of what women are going through, how critical the issue of period, then we will lose out from certain policies that can really create the change and the impact that we want. So I believe that
Yeah.
change should not be one-sided. Change should be a holistic kind of approach where everybody is a stakeholder. If we want to end period
Mm.
poverty, then men must be involved, women are
Yeah.
also involved. Then it's simple. It's just a natural, biological process. Of course, we would not be existing
Mm-hmm.
if there was no menstruation. So, of course, if you're menstruating, you should even celebrate
Oh
because it
yeah.
shows that you are capable of bringing a being, to the world. So, I believe that when we begin to, have such conversation, instead of talking about the negativity about about period and menstruation, we should rather, focus on the facts, the truth. The world cannot
Yeah.
we cannot have a world today without a woman, and then menstruation is like an indicator that
It's part
we
of
can
us.
have a child tomorrow. So I believe that change must
Yeah.
be holistic, must involve dialogue between all parties, and then I also keep saying that policymakers, politicians also, they can learn to prioritize their political will towards good menstrual hygiene management. And then I also advise that those that are into
Yeah.
such programming, when you go to community, don't just call just the women, have like a representative of the from the male side. So whatever programming you're doing, when we involve them from the beginning, at least they can be able to also take ownership of some of the projects that we do. And right now, we want to even see how, even in schools, within schools, if we can also
Mm-hmm.
start involving young boys in this conversation. Of course, it's going to be awkward from the beginning, but I believe change with consistency, we keep speaking about it, definitely with time we'll have the result and the change that we want.
That's amazing. Like you said, if we want to make a positive change, we need to involve everybody, both the men and of course the women. They're all part of it. And yeah. But if you have like people who want to support your cause, how would they reach out to you?
Okay,
Do
so
you
we
still
have
accept investors?
yes, so of course we can talk about that. We can talk about that for investment opportunities and also for our impact project through the Girls Dignity Foundation, where we do free donations. Like it's a full-fledged organization, so
Donations, okay.
and take charity contribution through that the non-profit arm of our business. Yeah, so and then we have a lot of projects
Okay.
like we did the girls dignity for her. So dignity for her was a project that we implemented in 2021 through last year. So basically it was to empower the
Oh,
girl
okay.
child. Yes, to ensure that we create whatever barriers that prevent them from attaining quality education. We challenge those barriers and we ensure that the girls are given opportunity to thrive. So we do that through the Dignity
Hmm.
for Her. So Dignity for Her was a holistic approach where we do education, we do product, we do
Oh, nice.
infrastructure,
Wow.
and then we do infrastructure. So these are like holistic way whereby we know that
Oh, wow.
water and sanitation and hygiene, that's toilets are very critical, safe spaces, especially in school.
Hmm.
So some of them, like some of the girls will complain to us that, oh, auntie, right now it's not even the issue of pads now. If I want to change, there's no place for me to change because some of them don't even have toilets that have lock and key, and you're afraid you're changing, and then somebody,
Oh,
maybe a
yeah.
guy, just bulges into it. So these are
Comes.
simple things that might look so simple, but trust me, if we are able to just do these simple things, we don't know how much of an impact that can create. Imagine a girl coming to school and she is sure that there's a safe space for me to change, there's water, there's I have sanitary pads, so there's no limitation anymore.
Hmm.
So through Dignity for Her, we are working on trying to even renovate some of the toilets for the girls, try to fix lock and key, so you can decide to say, okay, wherever you are, even if it's not through us, you can just go to any school and just ask, okay, do they
And
have different
yeah,
toilets for girls? And then renovate it. You don't have to build. Some of these schools, they already have these toilets, just as they are not suitable for
they're not
usage
well
again.
kept.
Yes, so you can
Hmm.
just renovate or just provide boreholes for them, let them get water so that they can be able to clean up. Because honestly, menstrual hygiene management is not one sided. You must be able to talk about education, you must talk about availability of products, you must talk about having access to water, and
Yeah.
soap. You also talk about having access to disposal system. So unless you're able to do these five different approach, you cannot say you are doing menstrual hygiene management. And of course, if you're not able to do all, you can look at one aspect of it and then see how you can,
Yeah.
create impact. You don't have to, it's not the big things. It's in this literally, I was telling you how simple. Someone will say, what is reusable pad? But reusable pad has changed the lives of a lot of girls. That's great impact. So
Hmm.
sometimes change must not be, building a whole 10-story building, but something just little that can have an impact directly on the life of people. I think it's worth it. So you can check your environment. If you want us to work together, you can reach out to us. We can implement any project that you want. since we already have like a structure and we've done this project in
Yeah.
in so many locations. So currently we've worked in Plateau State, we've worked in Nasarawa, we've worked in Benue State, and we're looking forward to even like expand towards south and the eastern part of the country. So trust me, if you just can go and renovate a toilet, it's okay.
Yeah.
If you can
That's
just provide a lock and key, it's okay. If you can provide pads, it's okay. If you can provide borehole where they can have access to water, is okay. One person can't do everything, but when we come together, playing our little part, we are all like towards the big picture. So the big picture is for us to see that girls have opportunity to remain in school and to attain their fullest potential. And trust me, there's a saying that says when you empower
yeah.
a girl, you're empowering the whole community. It is still a very valid, wise saying, and it's very, very real. If you empower one
Yeah.
girl, she wants to see how she can go back to her community and impact the other children. So you found that it's going to be like a chain reaction. You light the candle, you hand it
Mm.
over to someone, and before we know it, every other person is having opportunity of creating, a better livelihood and also creating impact. So the government cannot do everything.
Yeah.
Government cannot do everything, obviously. So, but then within your community, look at your community. There's this girl walking in your streets. You can just decide to, support her with a pack of pad, or you can, help.
Yeah.
Impact mustn't be big. It can be overemphasized. Something very little. But at the end of the day,
Can start
little by
from
little,
somewhere.
start
Yeah.
from somewhere. Yeah. So, and thank you so much for your platform. It's quite
Oh
encouraging to
wow.
see using your noble platform to for us to advocate and to speak about something that is so dear to our hearts, and something that has the capacity to transform the lives of people in Africa and beyond. So thank you so much for having me. I hope we have more and more of this conversation again and again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really very honored to have you, on this show because in fact, you've touched a whole lot of points. You are so passionate. In fact, we can hear and see that you're very passionate about what you do and the positive impact that you're giving these girls. It's amazing. Like, it's amazing. It's something that, of course, you would, I mean, seeing the smiles, the joy on their
Yeah.
faces gives you that
Yes.
fulfillment that what you are doing
Yes.
is not,
Yes.
is not a
Yes.
waste. And I'm
Absolutely.
really happy about that. I'm really so impressed about how far you have come. And of course, I pray that you continue to soar higher and higher and higher. And of course, we will still have more sessions. Thank you, Tabitha, for joining us on the cruise. Thank you for sharing this very, very vital, important information. And in fact, this is kind of like an eye opener for a lot of us. And like you mentioned, it's not just for the women, but the men as well, because they are also part of the community. So please, guys, do not hesitate to click the subscribe button below. Share this video because you don't know who this might help, and put in your comments. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section below, and we will be very, very happy to see them and, of course, answer them for you. Thank you so much, and don't forget to stay charming, stay fabulous, stay healthy, and stay blessed. So we'll see you next video. Bye. And
Bye.
our dear Tabitha, do you have anything to say before I forget?
No, just thank you for having me, and thank you for using your platform for this noble cause. I pray that God will continue to bless
You're
you.
welcome.
Yes, and yeah, thank you so
Amen.
much for having. And I hope we have another conversation very soon. Yes.
Oh
Thank
yeah,
you so much.
yeah,
Yes, thank you so
yeah.
much. Yeah.
Because we need to talk about menstrual cycle,
Yes, that's very
period, and
important.
all
Yes,
those,
yes, yes,
to enlighten us as well.
yes, yes, yes. It will be
Yeah.
my pleasure to do that. Yes. Thank you so much.